Good morning, my friends. Today we're going to work with some of our bigger numbers. This is a math lesson working with teen numbers. You'll need your tens frame egg carton. If you don't have number cards, you can just write numbers 11 through 19 on a piece of paper or a post-it note. I have my dry erase marker and an eraser. You can use pencil and paper if that's what you have. And this is just a sheet of paper that I've placed inside a Ziploc bag. I've written on the paper, and I'm going to use this as my whiteboard for today so that the lines and the symbols will stay here, and I will just be erasing the numbers. And then you need 20 small objects, and today I'm using Legos, and they don't have to be this 2x2 brick. They can be other bricks that you have. It's good to have ones that will connect that are about the same size because we're going to be grouping these together. When we're in school, we use something called a tens rod. So boys and girls, you might remember that we had a tens rod, and today we're going to use Legos to make our tens rod. So my first number, what number is this? 15, and I'm going to count out 15, and I'm going to use my tens frame. My assistant Dylan has made a very nice rainbow, so let's start putting these into our tens frame, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but I'm out of room in my tens frame, so I'm just going to group them over here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm going to stop there, and let's take a look at what patterns we see. Is there a group that stands out to you as you're looking at these? Can you see two groups that make up my 15? Maybe there's a group in the tens frame. There's a group out of the tens frame. So if my tens frame is full, how many do I have? That's right. And I'm going to put that number 10 in my number sentence. And how many did I have outside my tens frame? 5. That's right. I'm going to put that in my number sentence. And let's read that together. 10 plus 5 equals, was that my number 15? That's right. And we can write that down. 10 plus 5 equals 15. Now, because we're working with teen numbers, let's make this a little bit easier on ourselves. I'm going to take this 5 away, and let's just look at the 10. And I wanted to use Legos so that we can actually group this 10 together. Remember I said we were going to make a tens rod? And this is why I wanted something that would stack. Now, if the pieces that you have don't actually connect, you could use anything that reminds you of the tens rod. Maybe a marker or a spaghetti noodle. Something long and skinny that will remind you of our tens rod from school. Let's double check that we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that these are all stuck together, do I need to count this every time? No, I know that that rod is always 10. So our next number, we're just going to leave this rod here, and we're going to work with the tens frame. Let's do number, what's that one? 13. Now I'm going to use this to make my 13. Do I need to start counting at 1? How many do I have here? So let's say it together. 10. And now we can count on. What's after 10? One more makes 11, 12, 13. Now do we see two different groups? How many was in this group? That didn't change. 10, and how many are in my tens frame? 3. So let's write that on our paper or our whiteboard. we had 10, that was our tens rod here, plus, how many did we have in the tens frame? To make all together 13. Let's say it as a sentence. 10 plus 3 equals 13. And if you remember in class, we noticed that the 1 in the 13 reminds me of that 1 tens rod. 1 10 and 3 ones makes the number 13. There's my 3 ones. 110, there it is, 110. 3 ones makes 13. All right, I'm going to erase my whiteboard. Maybe you're just going to start a new line on your paper. Let's pull another card. Let's try this with 17. Maybe you're seeing the pattern already and you're ready to just write your addition sentence. That is great. Maybe we need some more practice. I'm going to start with my tens, and when I start counting, do I start at 1? Has this changed? No, that's 10. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I stop at this number. All right, let's look at what we have here. We have a tens rod, and how many are in the tens frame? Did you say 7? Let's write that on our addition sentence. 10, and how many were here? Equals, let's say it all together. 10 plus 7 equals 17. And now I want you to work on the other ones that were left. Hopefully you put these numbers on some paper, or you have some cards so that you can work on the numbers that are left. Thanks for joining me.